Were the SAG Awards afraid? Let's talk about this thing right here. So, in case you were not aware, the SAG Awards was actually last night, and I actually watched it. Now, if you didn't know, also last night, apparently Twitter erupted into making the joke of SAG so black. Now, if you didn't know, Uba Duba, I forgot her name, from Orange New Black, Viola Davis, Queen Latifah, Idris Elba, they all won their awards in their categories, and I thought that was great. Now, then after that, people kind of started to complain and make a joke out of the Oscar, diversity issue by pointing out, SAG so black. Now, for me personally, I thought that was the biggest insult, not only to the controversy going on, but also to the people that actually did win awards. Because you got to look at it like this: when you kind of make that assumption and you kind of make that claim that the SAG is so black and kind of make a joke out of the problem that is kind of going on right now in Hollywood, then it kind of takes away the accolades that these guys are actually winning, because then it kind of makes their win almost seem a bit more pointless. Now, for me personally, there was an article that said diversity wins big at the SAG Awards. The anti-Oscars is the SAG Awards. And to me, I was just like, not really. Because for me personally, the diversity issue would never be, diversity would never really win unless every ethnicity has an equal playing ground at every role, right? And I'm talking about Hispanics, Asians, Arabs, whatever you want to call it, because Asians, Arabs, they probably got it worse than black people. Black people are probably second in line when it comes to top priority roles in Hollywood, and that's just the case. But then black people, I guess, want to be on equal playing ground. But then again, why do black people just gotta kind of step up? Arabs and Hispanics, they're not really complaining, but they probably have it worse than black people. To me personally, I think if anything, diversity will not ever win unless everybody is on equal playing ground for any type of role. And when that happens, then diversity wins. Because last night it didn't win. The SAG Awards was probably most likely afraid of the backlash. But then when people do say that type of thing, you kind of almost shit on the people that actually do win. Because you almost kind of look at it and be like, well, did they actually win this? Did they win because they were good enough, or did they win because of their skin color? Because if that was the case, and that's why the SAG Awards kind of made these people win, then that's a sad thing to see, because they have to back up their own asses, because they probably knew that most likely there would have been a big controversy, especially in Compton, even though Compton didn't win. Because to me personally, if they would have done that, because a lot of people was just like, as soon as the first award went to Uba, right, from Orange New Black, people were just like, oh shit, we know exactly where this thing is going. And it did kind of go that way, but for the most part, they probably gave it to them because of their talent, hopefully. Because if they didn't give it to them out of their talent just because of the controversy going around, then sadly that's a dumb thing, and the SAG Awards is even more dumber than I would have thought. Now, the SAG Awards were the first award shows to pretty much come out after this controversy, and I could kind of see that they wanted to, stick it to the Oscars, at least, protect their own ass from getting fucked. Pretty much. That's pretty much what it was. Now, for me, like I said, when you see this type of shit going on, personally, when they say diversity wins, it doesn't win. It probably most likely would never win, sadly, because Hollywood is still in that old phase of, kind of, typecasting certain ethnic groups to a specific role. When you see people of all ethnicities in the category for Best Picture or Best Actor, Supporting Actor, whatever it may be, then I say that's when diversity is winning. When people make SAG so black the joke, to me personally, I just thought that was a big insult to, like, one, because it's funny, because when the black people want to be accepted by their peers and be like, yes, we belong here, I agree. And there's some other ethnic groups that also deserve to be in that spot where black people are, but they're not. So when I see people kind of being like, oh, you know what, they deserve it, and then when they actually do win, people kind of backlash and say, oh, well, they didn't win it because they won it. They won it because they're black. Then it's just like, you're going up against everything that you're kind of saying. There's ignorant people to the point where they just like to shit on kind of almost anything, just anything. They just like to kind of hate. Now, for me, when you see this type of thing, you almost kind of wonder, so how do we fix this problem? The thing is, well, it's an easy thing to fix. You just, simply put, you give everybody a chance at a role. You don't judge it because of one person's Asian, one person's Arab. You do that. For the SAG Awards, were they afraid? I don't know if they were afraid, but I can guarantee you they were backing up their asses, right? And you can kind of see on some people's face, like somebody said Idris Elba. You can see on his face when he had the thing for Beast of No Nation. He's almost like saying in his face, "Did I really earn this?" Because even on the red carpet, they wanted to ask Idris Elba the question for the diversity thing, but they didn't because they knew it would have been an awkward thing, and apparently it was. And then you get all these winners, and they did deserve it. Queen Latifah, she was okay. But I think everybody else deserved it because Abu Oduba, she won the Emmys. That was way before this mess. I think they won because of their talent. But when people say otherwise, then it kind of makes people almost be like, did they win for the talent or did they win because they're black? So for me personally, there are bigger problems than black diversity. There's bigger diversity issues with Arabs and Hispanic and Asians. Asians probably got it worse than black people, and you don't even hear them complaining. Because they know most likely they won't have a chance in Hollywood. And that's just the case. There's ignorant black people to the point they think that they're the most important thing. And it's sad to see, but that is the truth. There are other people out there that deserve a chance more than just black people. Black people, as I said, they're probably next in line, next to white people, in my opinion. But yeah, how do we fix it? Simply put, you give everybody an equal chance at playing something. Oscars are not just so white. There was white people and black people winning, so it's not really the same thing when people say Oscars are so black, or not Oscars so black, SAG is so black. It's not the same thing. It's not. If anything, like I said, the Asian, Hispanics, and whoever else is in the diversity being typecasted, they should be complaining, not really black people. We're next in line, really, but. That's pretty much what it is. That's all I can really say. When people make a joke out of this type of situation, it's funny. There are other more important things out there. It's a problem. It's not a serious problem, diversity, really. Nothing like life-threatening. But, it is what it is. Sadly, people think it means the world, but that's the world we live in. People, like to complain. Some people like to keep it calmly. But yes, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on the SAG so black hashtag thing? Where people just making stupid comments? But I want to know. Hopefully, you stay to the end of this video and watch. I know it's kind of long, but comment, subscribe, and like. I'm Chris Smith. I'm signing out. Check out some of my other bits, but comment, subscribe, and like.